I feel like mental health is an unseen, not so disability, but it's definitely a sidecar. It lives in your sidecar, and just in case of emergencies, it will just flare up and just throw your whole motorbike over. And nobody sees it. You're like, oh, you're passive. Like, I feel like I'm passable most of the time. And then when I'm not passable, it's disastrous.
That was Amanda, who lives with and manages bipolar type 1. In today's episode of Silent Superheroes, we'll be following Amanda's journey from depression in teenage years through mania in college to finally getting diagnosed with bipolar in her 30s. And how, armed with her bipolar diagnosis and several years of experimentation, Amanda really understands what she needs from a workplace and how the pressures of work can really affect her health and her family. Please remember that the people you hear on Silent Superheroes aren't trained medical professionals. They're people discussing their personal experience of living with mental illness. If you're considering a change to your treatment plan, please consult a trained medical professional. My name's James Pratt. I'm the host of Silent Superheroes, and I'm really glad that you're here.
Welcome to the Silent Superheroes Podcast, a series of frank conversations about mental health at work.
Today, I'm with Amanda.
Oh, right. Introduce ourselves. Yes. I'm Amanda. I'm a pharmacy technician. I am a mom. I am a wife. I am a daughter. I'm a dog owner. I'm the owner of a Honda Element, which I guess there's a whole modicum of people that's a demographic. And I get to have Bipolar 1. Yay!
Okay.
It's special. And I'm going to do this description because some people don't know, but Bipolar 1 is where you get to have the really super exciting mania and you don't sleep for a long time. And then you get to be super in bed after that. You get to be super depressed after that. I don't get up for a while.
Right. So we're trying to really help people understand what the experience is of living with mental illness, because it's really hard to understand.
I was born in 1974.
Right.
So when I became a teenager, you're depressed because you're a teenager, blah, blah, blah. And it's more that, I'm sad and I'm moody because I'm a teenager, but then the depression, like the unable to put on clothes or take a shower is beyond regular teenage. I don't know. What's the word? Teenage angst or whatever teenage hormone mayhem. You're like, because teenagers do their own thing. Mm-hmm. But what I had for that part of my depression was beyond regular depression. I'm a regular teenager.
Yeah, there's there's hard to get up because you're tired and lazy. And there's I wonder if I can summon the energy to put one foot on the floor. Right.
Like, getting out of bed is a hassle today. Yeah. It's beyond a hassle. It's impossible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those days are not fun.
They're not.
And especially, it's really great when you get to go to work.
I love that. I love that idea. I'd never thought of it that way. It's like work can actually be a gift.
Right.
If you live with depression.
Right. I have to go to work. Okay, get your butt out of bed. You're not going to make rent. Right. Get up.
Yeah.
Not that I really, I want to lay in bed. Mm-hmm. I would really just want to watch TV and just lay there. Mm-hmm. But it's better get up. Unfortunately, probably the best gift that I have is that having a stable position, a very routine. Right. Routine, I think, has helped me so much. But having a routine, where I get up, I have to get up. I have to do this. I have to do this. It helps balance my mood a little bit more. Mm-hmm. It's okay, my body knows what to expect. Or I'm already going through the motions, right? Yeah. I know how to ride a bike. I know how to do this. So I know my day is I have to get up and go to work. And then I have to deal with people at work. And then I get to come home. Yeah. Since there's a pattern to it. Right. It's easier for my brain and my mood to okay, let's pattern this up. And I think that helps me with my costume of being passable.
Right. So you said mania. So in bipolar, there are two hence bipolar. There's two aspects
right,
to
exactly.
it. There's the mania and the depression. So, right. If you can, from kind of a like a kind of medical definition,
okay,
how does the medical world think about mania?
Okay, so mania, like the definition, right? That the psychologists, psychiatrists, doctors, all that mayhem, what they consider mania is racing thoughts, inability to sleep, just overthinking, just I don't like. I've been in it, right? I've been in it, so explaining it and understand, like I know the definition. Yeah. You're just unable to bring it down. You are just constantly on. It's like a 4-year-old eating a crap ton of Skittles. Mm-hmm. That's mania.
Okay.
And, you can go to the bathroom and you can watch a movie, but everything else is Skittle Down and coffee. You cannot. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't even know the real definition. I just know it because I've been in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know there's like, I think it's like it can anywhere be between like 2 days and 6 weeks to 2 months, depending on how special your condition is.
So what's when you're in that that manic phase, what are the risks to you?
The risk for me, so I don't sleep a lot. So then I get kind of like I end up by the end of the back up. So
take your time.
It's okay. So with the mania, like as it progresses, my sleeping gets a lot less. My ideas come faster, but then they get jumbled. Mm-hmm. And then when they aren't jumbled, it's really hard to get around even my body because my mind is going so fast towards like the middle end of it. Like my body just gets stuck in the mud, even though my brain is still going. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, the beginning part is always fun. Beginning part's like, woo, we're having a good time. It's a party.
Yeah. Getting lots of stuff done.
I'm going to scrub the whole house. Yeah. But then by the end, your mind is still racing. You've got all this stuff. You cannot, like I get, what's the right words? I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like a daydreamy state where I'm awake and I'm doing stuff and I know I'm working, but then like it's kind of hazy. Like I can't tell if it's reality. I mean, I know that it's reality, but like it's with the daydreaming, like I can't tell if it's really real. So then I'm like, whoa, you've been in it for a while, lady. Yeah. Go sit down. And then I have a whole, when I bring it down, it's
okay.
Yeah, it's a sin.
So talk to us about that.
When I bring it down?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've done my probably anywhere, for me, it's usually like 3 weeks of mania, which is great. It used to be a lot longer than that. So it's really good.
What's the longest period you feel like you've had?
Probably the longest one I had was a semester, about a semester in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a hard time. Like in the moment, it was fantastic.
Right. Just cranking through your books, getting your assignments done.
Acing everything, making Dean's List. What? Yeah. But then like at the end, we're like, what just happened? I'm like, I don't even know. Wait, I made Dean's List. How did that even happen? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't remember any of that.
Right. Wow.
So it was, yeah. But so on a regular end of my set, hypo, or getting out of mania, going back into hypomania, I really have to force myself to breathe. I really have to force myself to be outside, which seems kind of dumb. Like, because when I'm in this mania, I'm like, okay, I'm working, but then like when I go outside, I'm like, I realize how small I am.
Right. Gets you back in the world.
Exactly. I'm back in the universe. Yeah. I'm not beyond myself or my house. I'm a small being in the whole world.
Yeah.
And it's like, whew. And then I'm able to like, hopefully I don't crash straight away.
Right.
Hopefully I can like, level out and then just slowly get into, because it'll go from mania to like hypomania in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And then like trying to keep it even so I don't go into like a super depressive mode before before work.
Right.
Because that's not really working.
You take medication to manage your bipolar. So what are you on now?
Yeah. So I'm on Lamictal is the brand name, lamotrigine. I'm on an atypical dosing. What?
Lamictal buddies.
Woo! Yeah. I love it. Like I've been on different little iterations of things, but Lamictal's where it's at. Mm-hmm. I'm on an atypical dosing.
Okay.
I guess it's, I'm taking 250 milligrams.
What's atypical about that?
I guess my understanding is that people either go with 200, 300, or God forbid 400.
Right.
So since I'm doing 250, I'm right kind of in that, they consider it atypical.
Can we do high five again? 250 Lamictal buddies.
What? But then so I take that, but then I also am taking hydroxypam.
Okay.
It's it helps you maintain your sleep patterns.
Got it.
So for me, it forces me to sleep so that my mania doesn't kick in. So I have to have. Everybody's like, why do you sleep so much? I'm like, because I have to. Right. I don't get a choice. I would love to only sleep 6 hours.
Yeah.
However, if I don't sleep at least 7.5 hours, I'm really not fun. I'm really kind of mean and just not fun and not my regular, not what I consider my usual self.
Right. So, we've talked about sleep, being outdoors, medication. We're starting to build a picture of the package of things that you're doing to maintain that passability. Yeah.
And so I've been trying for, I guess it started about October. I started running. Just, it's really weak running. It's like, oh, I did 10 minutes. Yay. And it was really slow. So, but yeah, that helps too. And everyone's like, running, that's, exercise. It's great for mental health. I'm like, and I rolled my eyes so hard for so many years about it. And yeah, it, I scoff at it and I hate it so much, but I know that it does work. It's not immediate. After my run, I'm like, I still hate everybody. Yeah. But in an hour or two, I'm not going to hate people as much. Yeah. And I'm going to be in a better place.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's Amanda as she is today. Mother, dog owner, and managing bipolar type 1 with a combination of medication, exercise, getting good sleep. Everyone who has a mental illness, their story starts somewhere. That moment when their life goes from not bipolar to bipolar. For me,
there's been a couple of moments of just supreme clarity.
Yeah.
When the New York Giants won the Super Bowl. I was at home. We were in New York.
Right.
It was that winter. Catherine was maybe 2 months old. Yeah. My husband was out of town, and the Giants win. What? The whole town goes crazy. Yeah. And in our apartment, there was this teeny little fake patio. Right. And I was so happy. I was like, this is the pinnacle of my life. And so I went and I stood out there, and I'm like, I could jump. Yeah. And I'm like, I must have been out there a good minute. Yeah. I could totally jump. And then I was like, and Catherine will sleep through it all. She sleeps through the night. We're good. Yeah. And I'm like,
she doesn't see anything. Somebody finds me on the street, calls 911. They cart me away.
Well, then more than that, I'm like, oh, my husband's on the plane. He's already on the plane to get home. Yeah. So
he'll be home.
And I was like, and it was horrible. Yeah. And I was like, he's going to be so mad at you that you did that. Yeah. And that's what brought me back. I was like, I was out there. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever even told him that either. Yeah. Should probably tell you. But yeah, it was so dangerous.
Yeah. After being on the balcony, Amanda didn't get help right away. In fact, she lived with the cycle of mania and depression for another 2 years, until her depression overwhelmed her instincts as a mother, and that put her on the path to get help.
So let's see, my daughter is 10. So I think she was 2.5 about when I had to be hospitalized. Okay. And I think most people, at some point, and I'm not saying that you should be hospitalized, but that if it's necessary to suck it up and do it. Right. Because you need it. Right. And it's not, hopefully it's a one and done. I feel like I was fortunate to only do a one and done. But if you need to go. There is no fault in yourself to be able to have to go and do that.
What were the signs for you that it's time for me to go to hospital?
So that was on, I think it was a Monday. I was out, I was a stay-at-home mom, and Catherine, she was little bitty, and so we were out messing around and playing in a fountain. It's Dallas. It was fun as hot. And I'm like, okay, it's time to go. She's like, okay. She threw this fit because that's what 2.5, 3-year-olds do.
Yep.
They throw fits. And I couldn't get her out of the playground. So I just picked her up and what we used to call sack of taters, just going to throw her over my shoulder like a sack of potatoes and just haul her to the car. Mm-hmm. So I get to the car. Fortunately, it's in a garage, so it's nice and cool. And then set her in the car. I don't want to sit down. I'm like, oh, fine. I want to get home. I want to get out of the sun. I want to relax. And I just shut the car. She was just kind of running loose like a cat in a car. Mm-hmm. And I drove home with her just running loose in the car.
Right.
Not supposed to do that. So at one point, she was trying to climb up into the front seat. And I had to stop real quick. Yeah. And she was like, she kind of flew a little bit.
Right.
It was scary.
Yeah.
And I still feel a lot of guilt about that.
Right.
So as soon as I got home, we're like, everybody clean up, everybody calm down. And then pretty much by that evening, I was like surfing. I'm chatting with her, giving her dinner and stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm already surfing on like ways to figure out an easy way for suicide because I felt so much guilt over it.
Yeah.
And I have not ever said that out loud. So there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so yeah. And it was probably about a week.
Yeah.
From that point, like it had been like, it built up and built up. And like, I was really, really sick. And I told my husband, look, I'm sick. There's something wrong with me.
Right.
I'm going to go. It's on our insurance.
Right.
There's a hospital. They said they'll give you a free evaluation.
Yeah.
So I get there. I'm chatting with the lady. She's like, you need to hand me your car keys. I'm like, okay. I'm like, whatever. It's a hospital.
You seem trustworthy.
Yeah, you're totally fine. We're just chatting here. Whatever. And they're like, yeah, you're not leaving. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So I was like, that was not a very good evaluation at all.
Right.
And clearly I didn't realize what sort of facility I was going to. But I'm glad I went.
Yeah.
It was by far like, I don't know what that was like. It was bizarre. Completely bizarre. But yeah,
there is fear. When you said about going into checking yourself into a hospital.
Right.
You said like, it was great. Do it. If you're thinking about it, do it. Right. Because there's a stigma that I might get locked up or
I was afraid I was going to be in jail.
Right.
I mean, like, I didn't know what's wrong with me. I was acting crazy. Mm-hmm. I was super depressed.
Yeah.
My husband's like, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to get checked in, but I did.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate to get in a semi-private facility. So I feel really fortunate about that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Get help. Like, don't, like, I work on Capitol Hill here in Seattle.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of drug use and mental health issues every single day.
Yeah.
All the time. And it just kills me because I'm like, you need help.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to put you in jail because you're acting like a fool in Mill Street.
Yeah.
And you are acting like a fool in Mill Street.
Yeah.
You know, you're totally methed out in the middle of the intersection.
Yeah. You're shouting at the clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're trying to lick the light trail rails. So by the time I left hospital, I had a regimen of Seroquel and lithium, I think. Both of them for a little while.
Yeah.
And then finally I was just on lithium for a while.
Right.
And it's good because it stabilizes you.
Right.
And you are so normal.
Yeah.
Or at least I was completely normal.
Right.
But we were having to fluctuate it a little bit because my body was starting to either adjust or not adjust or whatever, getting used to it. So I just decided, I told my doctors, like, I cannot take this anymore. We got to switch it up.
Yeah.
And so I continued, and then I switched to Lamictal.
Right.
And Seroquel. So they gave me Seroquel when I was in the hospital.
Okay. And
I gained something like 20 pounds in a week. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband's like, what? And I'm like, well, I've just been in the hospital.
Yeah.
So like, what do you do? You just lay around in the hospital all day. And
was that because it made you eat a bunch, or just it made your body just...
I think my body was just like, what? Like, I don't know. I don't know why it makes your body do that, but it stinks.
Right. That's really common with antidepressants, I think.
I think it is.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of battles to fight in the weight department. But I also think it's, am I going to be heavy or am I going to be sick?
Yeah.
Like, that's two different things I have to deal with. And I know that my doctors don't like that I call it that I'm sick. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I am.
Yeah.
Like, I can't control, but like, I have to take medicine.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot not take medicine.
That's really interesting. I'd never heard of a doctor being kind of uncomfortable with the idea that like you're sick.
Well, like I'm not ill. I'm not going to fall over and like give people chickenpox or something. Yeah. But like I'm sick. Like I'm constantly sick.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter like with HIV, you're sick.
Yeah.
You are managing it.
Yep.
With mental illness, you're sick.
Yeah.
You're managing it.
Right.
We hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're sick.
When you talk to people managing a mental illness, one of the common themes is that they discover it when they notice their behavior just falls so outside what's considered normal. For Amanda, it was putting her daughter at risk and feedback from her husband. But you don't have to wait that long, and you don't have to end up in hospital. Talking to a trained medical professional can be enough. Everyone's experience of mental illness is a little bit different. I wanted to hear more about how Amanda experiences her bipolar in her work and the effort that she puts into managing it.
Work, for me, is a huge, like, downer. Like, because what I do is so task-oriented. Do it this way, do it this way. You have to be perfect because you can't make people sick. But I am sick. You know, that's a whole other conversation. But you must be correct, and that's fine. If I don't do it the correct way, then they give me crap.
Right.
Like, you're not doing it right. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
And so I fix it. No big deal. But, and then when they come and, you know, conference with me, like, why are you doing it poorly? I'm like, what do we need to help you with your skill set? I'm like, it's not the skill set. It's that my brain, like, I temper it. Like if I were to, at work, I mean, I could easily go into mania at work and get it all done in like 4 hours. And then I could just sit back and have happy hour at work because I'd be done.
Yeah.
But I'm not fun. Like I'm not really fun. I'm not even functional really. I'm like, like, so, and then I don't want to be pushed into a depression for the evening.
Right.
So so I temper it because like this forces me to slow down. Because if I'm too fast, I can't bring it back.
Yeah.
So when I have these conversations with my bosses, that will trigger some hypodepression because I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like, I'm such a horrible person. I should be faster. I should be able to communicate with people better. I'm like, why am I like this? Why am I like this? I'm like.
So are you, and I use the expression out, are you out with your?
My bosses know, and they know I'm on my meds, but I don't think that they realize how intense it gets. So, and one of my coworkers and I were talking about it, she's like, oh, there was this new medication that came up on CNN.com. Like, oh, look, this bipolar medication. I'm like, oh, it's a sucker ad. So I click on it. It says blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it has all the side effects and everything, like brand new. Okay. So I go to work. I'm like, hey, how much is that medication? And they're like, whoa, that's really expensive. I'm like, okay. She's like, well, why do you need that? I'm like, oh. So I scroll down. I'm like, show her. I'm like, she's like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah. So like I kind of gently outed myself to her. And so I mean, the people there know. I mean, we don't say it. Like I don't like announce it. I don't like wear like I'm a bipolar t-shirt at work or anything.
We should make some of those.
Oh, we should. It would be so much more helpful.
Maybe like two sides, like something on the front, something on the back. How did your boss, like when you scrolled down, you showed her, you know, okay, I'm bipolar. What was her reaction? Do you remember?
Oh, she's my coworker. Yeah, she's my friend. Yeah. She's like, oh. I'm like, does that explain some things? She's like, yeah, kind of. I'm like, okay. So we just kind of let it go because we're friends outside work and we're coworkers. So just kind of, since we're peers, it's no big deal.
Right.
With my managers, they're like, you need to control it. I'm like, wow, really? I'm trying. Like I can either be functional at work. And I think work pressure versus family pressure and other things I do in my life, that pressure and really affects the bipolar. I don't know if that happens for you.
My psychiatrist tells me that my my bipolar is reactive, is how she describes it.
Right. Okay.
So like I will get, if I get a few bad beats, in a row, well, that's what my brain tells me.
Yes.
Then I'll just flip into a depression.
Yes.
And I've had that experience that you kind of described where there's something that just has to get done at work, like a big thing. Like earlier this year, I was organizing a conference, like an internal conference. And I knew for the week or two leading up to it, and for that week, like I just had to get everything done. And there were some other things going on in the background at that place of work too. And I was very aware. And actually the first time that I realized, like, oh, I can trigger hypomania. And so it was great. I got a bunch of stuff done.
Yeah.
And then I actually shared this with somebody, at that work a little while ago. I was the host for the event.
Wow.
And because I've been running in the hypomania for a while, I was getting into the slide. I had to get up on stage in front of 150 people 2 days in a row. And just fake it. I mean, literally just try and switch off the brain, be the compare, make jokes and stuff like that while, inside just kind of like, I don't care about any of what's
all of this is a bunch
on.
of crap.
Yep.
It's bunch of malarkey.
Yeah.
And I get like that. Like I can feel like it at work.
Yeah.
Like I get these, unhelpful either critiques or reviews from my management. And so then I'm like, well, let me just tell you that when I leave, I'm going to burn this whole place to the ground. I say that in my heart.
Not a real thing.
Not a real thing, but I say it in my heart.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like, really, guys? I'm trying. I'm coming to work.
Yeah.
That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm productive at work. I work full time. Like for a lot of people I've heard of some people in the bipolar realm that they can't work. Right. Like they are so debilitated. And even though they're on meds and all this, that they can't work. They can't function. And I'm like, whew, I'm in a good spot. Even though I have to fight with it every single minute of every single day. I'm in it. Yeah. I'm in it.
So I'm thinking about your workplace. So what I've heard so far is, you have a colleague who, at least you told your management are aware and their reaction has been, you got to manage that thing.
Right. They're like, that can't interfere with your work. I'm like, okay, so I understand that you guys are all doctors, pharmacists. Yeah. We're in the drug industry. Yeah. We know what disease states are. We know what diseases are. Yeah. It's hard to control it. Like it's
right. What do you think is so important to them? What's going to happen if you don't in their minds? Right.
Like, so they tell me you need to speed up your work. You need to speed up your work. So I speed up. Yeah. And they're like, well, your attitude is just negative attitude. I'm like, right. Because you told me to hurry my work up and I can either be super focused and not talk to people and get the stuff done. Right. Or I can be nice demeanor and not as, like for me, that's how it is. Like I'm either on game or I'm like medium game. But like when you tell me to get it done, I'm not jacking around. Yeah. I'm going to get in this I'm going to make myself, I'm going to let myself, I guess, go into hypomania so I can get it done. So don't get mad at me. Right. Because I'm in this mode. Yeah. So. And it's really aggravating. It's aggravating for me because I'm like, I don't want to be. Yeah. You want me to get the thing done. Yeah. So get the thing done. Yeah. And I wish there was a way that I could compartmentalize my feelings. Yeah. But I'm like.
I mean, they're basically saying, hard. Can you be a different person? Give or take.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Yeah. Be. Yeah, I think so. Right. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. I don't know what sort of staff member you want. Yeah. And if I'm not the right kind of staff member, that's okay. Yeah. Like, find somebody. And I'll fine. Just. Yeah.
So, let's say at some point in the future you move on from this job, how are you going to find the place that's going to, because going to accept you for who and how you are. I mean, that narrows the pool down.
Certainly.
Significantly, right?
Yeah. So I'm thinking, like part-time because then I can focus on my love of what I'm doing with my nonprofit, which has pretty much been a part-time job for me in the last 4 or 5 months. So then I could dedicate my time more to that. And if I were to get a part-time position, then I'm not, yes, I can rock, yes, I will come in, I will be a rock star for 4 hours.
Right.
That won't wreck me mentally. I can have a break between, and I'm with the heart, like I'm able to do my nonprofit out of my heart.
Yeah.
And so I can wreck not really wreck, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's a very intense 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever, and then bring it in, and here we go. Like it's such an opposite.
Yeah.
And not like a daily or every few days kind of experience. I feel like I could manage that, like where I'm like, I could manage having like the big sprint. I don't know what I was to refer to that, but I guess a sprint for 4 hours and then be able to recuperate and still be a functional parent and a functional spouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah. So that's you self-selecting based on things you can control, right? You can control whether you take a part-time or a full-time job.
Right.
How about
how it's going to go on a day-to-day basis?
How are you going to find the people though? Maybe let me ask this question a different way. What do you need? What do you need from your coworkers and from your management to be successful at what you do?
I think, first of all, that they need to understand that I'm slow on purpose. Like that they need to, like I'm slow. First of all, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, there is that part. Yeah. But also that I'm slow on purpose, so I'm not wrecking the rest of my 24 hours of being alive. Yeah. In my real life. I think they need to understand that. And that, I think that would be the biggest thing that most managers are going to be like, why can't you get this done? Why can't, I'm like, I can. Yeah. I can't, like, I can speed up and I will, I will like throughout the day, I'll get faster and like, I'm not super slow, but I'm like getting it done. But you need to understand that if I go too fast, even if it's not fast for regular people, I'm passable. Yeah. Right. I'm getting by. Yeah. So I think if they can understand and maybe work with me on I'm slow on purpose. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think managers like that. Yeah. I don't think that's something a manager is going to want to hear. Right. Is that their staff member is purposely slow. Could we call it steady? I could probably rephrase it as steady. I'm glad you're prepping me for an interview that I might be having. Yeah, I mean, keeping a steady pace. Yeah. I think, because I'm in a kind of a retail setting. Yeah. When people are mad, I'm like, I understand that you're mad. Yeah. I understand why you're upset. If anybody in this pharmacy knows, it's me. Yeah. Right. But you getting mad at me and at other people doesn't make us work any faster. Right. In fact, it probably will affect me more when I leave. Yeah. Which is why I kind of want to get out of retail, because going maybe to a hospital setting or like an inpatient-ish kind of setting, just because like I only have so much drama to deal with in a day. Right. I need like 4 items of drama, and work should not be one of those. Right. I mean, there's work drama within but like I can't. But the overall act of like showing up at work and doing a day's work shouldn't be drama. Right. 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 Oftentimes, like I would say in the last couple of months, it's been where I want to just cry my face off when I get home. Like, I'm doing the best I can so that I'm not a crazy people. Yeah. And I think I need to re-express that to my management. I think that they think that because I'm passable, that maybe that would be helpful. I don't know. If I explain to them like, yeah, I'm still bipolar. Yeah. It didn't go
As
away.
You all know, there aren't drugs that fix that. Exactly. It doesn't take that away. It's not like a cold.
Right. Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be lovely? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm not, yeah, I think that wherever I work they need to understand that I'm doing the best I can. Mm-hmm. I'm wanting to I am staying on task. I am on target. I am I'm a little OCD with stuff, and that's fine. Yeah. And I manage that part, but it's by being, not say forced, but being heavily encouraged to speed up will kind of force me into a hypomanic state. Yeah. And I can't. Right. That's detrimental. Yeah. For my well-being.
For you, but also for your coworkers as well.
I should hope so.
Right.
Like, oh my God.
Where you're going to be less of a colleague to
right.
them. Yeah, you want somewhere where the priority is to get work done.
Right. Whatever it is.
Orderly fashion, steady pace. And there's not the sense that many businesses have that if only we work faster, harder, then the world would be a better place somehow. Right.
The end budget the dollars at the end will be more. And that's fine if you want the dollars to be more, but your health expenses on the other end of that spectrum, on the benefits end, you're just wrecking people. Yeah. Yeah. I think, honestly, regardless of your mental health state, everybody could use a little dose of bring that crap back. Like, just let's slow it down just a time. I'm not saying, snail's pace. I'm saying, just do a power walk through here.
It's funny you mentioned that. A couple of years ago, I got into walking places. Mm-hmm. And I was always somebody rushing from one thing to the next. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to very consciously walk slowly, be in the world, enjoy what's around me. And I found this paradoxical thing, which was I got there more quickly, which was really odd because you would think if you were racing around, you get there more quickly. And I've tried the same thing in work. And I've actually found at times that being consciously steady and working in a orderly fashion towards something, I've got there faster. I've actually got better quality out of what I'm doing. Right. As long as I have the support to do it. Right. Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm going to come in early and I'm going to leave early. Yeah. Or, you know what? If it's better for, at a regular desk position, on Tuesdays, I'm going to work from home because I have a mental health appointment in the morning. Right. And then the rest of the afternoon, I will, just get stuff done. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just trying to, I think people with a more traditional desk job or otherwise not retail experience, like jobs, I think that would be really helpful. Like, slow and steady and have not slow and steady, like definitely consciously management of the workflow. Yeah. I think that would really, I think every person would find that helpful.
Would benefit from that.
Oh, definitely. And I would think that even there'd be less sick days for management. Like, oh, no, you're not burnt out. So, needless to say, I'm looking for a new position, but that's no big deal. It'll show up if it shows up. But I'm also, so to make my heart feel better, I am on the board of a nonprofit. Nice. And it's 4 ladies. We do our own thing. We're trying to help people as we can. Yeah. But that has really given me so much more drive. Like, I can really help people in a way every day. Even with pharmacy, I help people in a way every day. But this is so fundamental. Like, I'm really affecting them where they need help. Yeah.
Tell me about the nonprofit.
Yeah. So I'm with Seattle T2P2. Okay. Towers of Tampons and Pyramids of Pads. And so we bring... Nice. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah. So we get product. Well, you have 3 girls in your house.
I do. Absolutely.
This is your future.
Yeah, exactly.
So we gather feminine hygiene products. Yep. We disassemble the boxes and reassemble them into packets for 1 month's supplies. Okay. And then we just hand them out we take them to shelters, hand them out on the street. Yeah. I keep a couple packs in the car. So like if I see a lady, I'm like, boom, here you go.
There you go.
Yeah. We give them out wherever we can, whoever needs it, because they shouldn't be taxed first and foremost. Yes. Which is why I want to move, into a part-time position so I can be in this more valuable space of my nonprofit. Because like I'm affecting people. I'm with people in a very direct, hands-on. Yeah. It's more, I say it's better for my heart, but it's going to be better for my mental stability.
Right. Yeah. As long as you're able to work at a steady pace. Steady pace, yeah, absolutely.
And there's always ramp up for events and stuff like that. But I think that keeping it at a manageable size with a certain number of months, weeks notice. Yeah. There's only 4 of us and we all work full time, so we're not doing that much crazy business.
Right. And I think those periods of acceleration are okay if you know they're coming and you can plan for them and manage them.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Yeah.
I would love to know that I'm going to mark on my calendar that in 2 weeks I'm going to have a manic episode. Right. I'm going to have all these plans ready. Right. So I can like totally put the button and be done.
Yeah. I was thinking of it the other way around. Like in work, it's like we've got an event in 3 weeks. So I know like the week leading up to that is going to be hectic, and therefore I'm going to do these things. I'm going to double down on whatever it might be.
The before stuff.
For you to help keep you
more steady through
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
which that's so much smarter. That's why you're doing a podcast, is because you're smarter.
I don't think that's true. Amanda's experience of work isn't all that different to most people. The business she works for wants her to work harder, to work faster, just get it done at all costs. But for Amanda, there is a cost. She can go into hypomania and she will be able to get lots of work done very quickly and she'll have a lot of focus. And that hypomania can lead to full-blown mania, where she might be confused. She'll have racing thoughts. She'll become perhaps irritable and combative. And all those things affect her ability to be a wife, to be a mother. Likewise, when her business says, hey, you're working too slow, that brings up shame. And the shame can lead to depression. And that depression could lead her back to a balcony. I think what Amanda needs is a workplace that says, hey, you work steady, and that's okay. We get it. We understand that for you, your decision to work at a steady place is life or death, and we respect that. So as we come towards maybe wrapping up here, what are the things you want people to know about living with bipolar?
Because as a bipolar person, and I'm going to talk about this in a minute a little bit, but as a bipolar person, we're fighting a battle every moment, almost of every day. And by putting, it may be reasonable expectations for somebody, but then adding expectations beyond what the known expectations are can really wreck it. I'll come home just in shambles or just so high I just can't. There's the expectation set. I can come home with that expectation set, but if you write the expectation set, you're not wrecking my work, which you are. Yeah. But you're wrecking my whole person.
Right.
I feel like that's how it is for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's that way for you.
So
I can manage my mood based on what I know is going to be happening.
Yeah.
So I know that I don't need coffee this day because I'm going to be jacked up.
Yeah.
Or I know, I might need some coffee this day because it's going to be slower and or whatever. But my mood
your strength is finite. Your energy to battle with this condition is finite, and you can put more of that into managing it at your work because your work demands it, but you are taking energy away from somewhere else, and your family is going to suffer, or your nonprofit's going to suffer, or your sleep is going to suffer, or who knows what that.
Probably just my general sanity. Yeah, honestly.
Right. So if you could go back in time to shortly after you got your diagnosis, and speak to yourself or speak to somebody who is who has recently been diagnosed with bipolar type 1, what would you say?
Oh, wow. It's okay. Mm-hmm. It's what it is.
Yeah.
You're going to be functional.
Yeah.
You stay on the track.
Mm-hmm.
If you do what you do with your doctors, your therapists, your support system, first of all, find a support system that works for you. But stay within your support system. Do not, I know you want to, but do not go off the rails.
Yeah.
Because it's entertaining, but it is not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely nothing good comes of getting out of your bounds.
Right. So find out what works, listen to people, talk to people.
Yeah.
And then when you find what works, just stick with it. Yeah.
And if you like going on a girls' party weekend, that can be fun. Mm-hmm. But again, stay within your bounds.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You know you have to, like, I know I have to sleep 8 hours. Yeah. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to have super fun. I'm going to go to bed. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, my friends know this. Yeah. And they're like, okay, see you later.
Right.
I swear, I think having the support of family or friends or your online chat rooms, whatever, having a good support system that's positive and will, like, listen without being bossy, because you're already bossy to yourself. Like, right. I think that's super, super important. And you will be functional. Mm-hmm. You will, like, it might be what, passable people consider as functional, but it's going to be functional for you. Yeah. And you're going to be doing your thing and you're going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's your version of fine. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be like TV.
Right. Find your version of fine.
Yeah.
Find what passable is for you.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Amanda, anything else you want to say before we're done today?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But this has been really fun. It's been really enlightening for me.
Yeah.
And like having these conversations out loud versus like with myself or in my journal. Yeah. Like having having this conversation in my journal is it's great. I'm bouncing it off myself. Yeah. But this is great to like hear other points of view and then like having different vocabulary, like the way you're saying it versus the way I'm saying it. It's the same words. Yeah. I mean, it has the same meaning, but it's different vocabulary around it.
Yeah, I love possible.
Yeah.
I will be using possible in the future.
Yes. My work here is done.
Excellent. And we definitely need to have more of these conversations, we being humans in general.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I just feel like people who have any sort of, like, if you're middle of the road, great person, that's wonderful. But that's probably 2% of the whole population. Right. And somebody's got something janked up with them. I don't know what it is. If it's bipolar, if it's dyslexia, you're left-handed. Yeah. You have the color blindness, I think. Yeah. We all have our own special abilities. Yeah. And it's how you cope with them and get on with life. Yeah. And that you can do it. Yeah. And everybody does it. And we're still not ever going to all be in the level 3. We're never going to all be in that middle lane. But you know what? We're doing our best. I'm in my own level 3. I'm in my own level 3.
You found your level 3.
Yeah, I found my level 3.
Cool. Amanda, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Take care.
Bye.
So there you have it. Amanda's story. A silent superhero working with bipolar type 1. If you like what you've heard today, please leave us a rating on iTunes or your favorite podcasting service. If you want to hear future Silent Superhero stories, please visit silentsuperheroes.com and sign up for our newsletter. Or you can go to facebook.com/Silent Superheroes.
Take your mental health seriously. If you need to speak to someone, you can call 1-800-273-8255 or text crisistextline.org at 741-741. Both provide 24/7 confidential counseling to people in the United States. Worldwide, visit iasp.info/resources/crisis_centers/. To help others find the Silent Superheroes podcast, please leave a review on iTunes or your favorite podcasting service.